Virgo, listen, I haven't had a chance to look over the reading or anything. I just laid it down and I wanted to start recording. We have follow your dreams, love, partnership, healing, spirituality, and abundance. And if you'll notice progression, these energies are a little. Follow your dreams is a 4. 8 plus 5 is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. But it's also the energy aligning with death. So there was a change coming. And coincidentally enough, Mercury has gone to the underworld to retrieve things from Pluto, pertinent information. And while he's gone, that's what the Mercury retrograde is. He's gone. He's not in the sky facilitating communications and travel and things like that. We're pretty much left to fend for ourselves. So if you don't have that evolved sense of communication or evolved sense of planning ahead, making sure, accounting for things, like this should be our niche, us being Virgos, to check and double check, triple check, and making sure things are in alignment, confirming, calling again just to confirm. I want to, I'll meet you at such and such time, such and such place. This is the address, right? The appointment time is this, right? Okay, correct. You can mitigate the issues of Mercury retrograde by covering those bases, but doing that all the time, not just because it's a retrograde, and just being that much more on top of your shit. So then we have love partnership, which 26 is an 8. Going from the 4 to the 8, love partnership. This looks like it came in, or you're in the vibration of it coming in. And then we have healing, 6-6, spirituality, 7-7, abundance, 8-8, a progression. You start to align more evidently, okay? And it's just natural. Once you started to follow your dreams, the love partnership that you have with yourself, the way you partner with other people is in and coming from a place of love. And that's where the real power is. And you're matching that vibration all the way through. And it aligns you more deliberately with the things that are coming in. So I was a little confused when I saw this here. But what I feel is listen, you're naturally going to be paired with people that have already been paired with other people. And not paired like divinely guided, paired. Paired as in situational or circumstantial type of things. And you're Virgo, you are a change agent. You come in as a controlled but chaotic force. It's a variable that they can't account for, because the way that you do things and cut to the chase really throws off what they're used to. They're not used to someone so deliberate. They're not used to someone so honest. Even the air signs, they can be blunt, honest, and deliberate, but they don't have the practical, unless they have earth highly aspected, they don't have the practical implementation of that truth. It can be blunt, but it has to be delivered very deliberately, in a practical way that will actually get through. If it's blunt, let it be blunt enough to break a barrier that will free a person up, not blunt like blunt force trauma. You understand? There's a different sense of delivery that a person who is naturally earth but can dwell in air can give that other people cannot give. Now, on this day, freaking 15 years ago, I had a tattoo on my back, and it was the spade, a Queen of Spades themed tattoo. A spade with a crown, the Queen of Swords. So when I saw her come up, I was like, okay, that was the last card to come out, because I was like, what is this Three of Swords? Like, you have such positive energies happening here. It really wasn't congruent. But this is like, it's coming up as a Three of Pentacles, and where you thought you were working with a person, or where you thought things were working, it's as if something minute came up and you know how to nip it in the bud, especially because it's a Mercury retrograde. If this wasn't here, I would say you took it to heart or you took it personal. Maybe someone else did, but you're coming into clear. You're coming in to clear this energy so that things can get back on course. They hold the truth with them, and I don't feel that they've delivered it. They really want to see how you handle certain things. So maybe an action is being imposed towards you, because this is a lot of air. And then we have two major arcanas. This is the things that are out of your control. So we have the moon influence with the Chariot card here and Cancer, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter. So this is a time to expand. This is a time to where you could have massive growth. We have this here. We have it here with these numbers ascending. So if you would have let this Three of Swords get in your way, this would have butchered a connection to the point where you would never get to the part where you actually work to build something together. This architecture does build a home. Okay. So I'm proud. I'm very proud, because you could have allowed this Three of Swords to turn you upside down and come off belligerent and come off matter of factly, and I'm right because of this. And what you did was you put your own mental, the pain that you could have felt based on the way you think about certain things or the way you consider certain things, you decided not to take it and accept it as actual pain. You're like, okay, that's a thought that is fleeting. It can change. But what won't change is my deliberate nature to be compassionate, my deliberate nature to set the record straight in order for this thing to get back on course. We can hydroplane, or we can slow down and make sure that we're driving on the right track. This is a wheel. This is a chariot. So this is like movement energy, vehicle energy. This is communication, the channels that, connect. There is movement. There is time is ticking. Okay? Time is ticking. I just took a pause, but on the other side of the Cancer energy, you're going to find Capricorn. It is time, the timekeeper, the rule keeper, things of that nature. So if you don't do, this is a liberal energy. Cancer is a very easygoing type of energy. So, and it's the energy of the mother. So there's a way that you can put that feminine energy, that feminine touch on the energy, so it's not so terse, so it's not so stone, matter of fact. This is a very soft Queen of Swords in this spread. The Wheel of Fortune's opposite would be Gemini, would be Mercury. Okay, we're in the retrograde. So anything that you give it to Jupiter, it will expand it for better or for worse. And this Queen of Swords has that intelligence, has that understanding. This Page of Swords may not know anything about how energy works. They just know the truth of what they know, of what they feel, of what they want, of what they don't want. And their actions, though, these are communicative cards, but they're not actually communicating. They were awaiting communication. And whatever action was taken, or whatever happened here with a love partnership or just friendship in general, the Queen of Swords has had to make the steps and make the movement towards this Page of Swords in order to, most times you'll see the Page of Swords, they're observing. You get to lead by example as Queen of Swords. This person is not as evolved. So if you're going to expect a Page of Swords type of person who hasn't developed their intellect to a certain degree or hasn't broadened their frame of thinking or their conception of thought isn't as evolved as yours, you have to be in full understanding of that. Don't get mad at them for being where they are. You have a position to teach them how to evolve and get to your standard. Not to your, standard, but to a higher level of communicative ability. They have it in them. They just don't have anyone to show them or to actually speak to them on that level. They'll understand you and you can understand them, but you have to be patient with them. You have to deliver patience. No matter what it seems like, you're transmuting this Three of Swords with that death energy. Personal growth, got relationship change. That's 7 and 11. And what's next? Self-discipline, health. You have a more disciplined mind. You could take what was said or what wasn't said and assume and be in Three of Swords if you'd like to, and speak from that place of perceived pain and be very reactive. But if you're reactive, nuclearly, they will be counteractive and come back with something very childish because they have it in them. That's their first line of defense, where you have strategy. You have more experience with war and warfare when it comes to the mind, when it comes to mental games, when it comes to communication and things of that nature. And there's the death card. There is much that you can do. You change the way that things go. So here for the emotional aspect, we have the Five of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Seven of Cups, Four of Wands, the Devil, and the Two of Wands. The Four of Wands is showing up again. You have this Ace here, and this is showing me that love partnership almost. You have two aces, the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So the connection that you feel is actually real. This is that old school love. I know Five of Pentacles is usually on a less positive note, but this type of Five of Pentacles is the feeling that you have that makes the Five of Pentacles so deeply personal, because you know what this feels like. So if you're here and then you're in the other Five of Pentacles, you've lost a really good thing. But this isn't talking about loss. This is talking about emergence. It feels like home. It's romantic. It doesn't have to be gushy and corny or nothing like that, but it's something that you really desire, to be together with another person in this regard. And not all the emotional readings, even though this is the tarot sexual magic, not a lot of them are actually about a love relationship. It just may be residual energy or past thoughts or something. But this is something now to even imagine. To these are mirroring energies where you're taking each other in and being engulfed in that. Like these are very, very engaged energies. And the sex is off the meat rack. Like it's off the chain. Like if I can use that, don't sue me for using something that's like 20 years old. Saying this is off the chain, off the meat rack is just fresh. It is, the fire is there, the passion is there, the fire is there. But also that getting to know each other, that heart to heart, is one wand and one wand. It's two people. They both have their weapons of choice. But they can see where the other person's coming from. They have two different natures, two different ways of experience. And they're choosing to bring them together. There's a lot of touching, a lot of closeness. An archer and a marksman. You know what I mean? Like, so they have it in them to combine forces and be freaking a powerhouse. Okay? So maybe that's the Page of Swords and this Queen of Swords. You have to let a person know, oh, my nails, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. You have to let a person know, like, you can still communicate. They speak your language of passion. They can speak your language of emotion. They speak your level of practical affection and displays. They can do that. Passion, again. But when it comes to the Seven of Swords, it's on its side, because it seems like you match in every other area except for the communication. They speak your bodily language. They speak your willful and your energetic language. They speak your physical language. But when it comes to the spoken word and frame of thought and things like that, there's a little bit, it was sideways. It's not necessarily eye to eye, you know? So you have to get them up to speed without rushing, because they're apprehensive. They have it in them. They have the potential in them to grow and evolve, because if they take the wheel towards you, healing, spirituality, abundance. So if you're here and you're aligned with your abundance, they're on the way. But they're going to need your help to kind of coax them out of this defense mode. You have the ability to help them get to the other side of this. You know what I mean? You bring them closer to Earth, because if they're on the other side of Jupiter and then the chariot is the moon, this would be their, like, this is like the layover. And then they get to the chariot, which is the moon, and they're riding in the home stretch to get to you. And it may hurt at the thought of how long it's taking, or that the communication may not be even happening. But whatever you said, they received it, and they know it's the truth. They're just sitting with it. It's an observation. They want to pick it apart and analyze it. Something that they think you do too much of, but they're learning that they need to, they know what a lie feels like, and they know what the truth feels like. They know what a lie sounds like, and they know what the truth feels like. There's a distinction between the two. So they're taking their time with this. Their thoughts are a little all over the place, a little scattered, and you have just one direct line of guidance coming in above your head, above your crown chakra. Their thoughts are a little convoluted and all over the place. Your clouds are, you can't really see, but those clouds are mostly white, and these clouds are mostly gray and different hues and those different frames of thought. So this Ace of Swords, because the truth has been delivered and has made it to them, it will prevail. It just may take some time, which Wheel of Fortune is a time indicator as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. Finally, I'm seeing something positive for Virgo. Energetically, even if you're not in communication, it's only temporary. But and I don't think this is like past. I think this was when I saw love partnership, it felt new to me. Newer. Not something that's been, lingering on and off and on and off and on and off. This is something newer. Even if it hasn't been very long that you decide to go forward with this person. The energy that was created was never destroyed. I don't think it ever got off the ground. Oh, there, it's getting off the ground. He is picking up a handful of ass. You done kissed too many frogs. That's what it is. And this one is a prince. Don't let the page stature fool you. All those people you've been with that you've tried to fix, tried to help, tried to whatever, heal, you don't have to do that. All you had to do was follow your dreams, Be open and receptive and have that open love relationship with yourself. Not an open relationship, don't get me wrong. Openness towards yourself, healing, spirituality, and abundance. Like you just had to receive the healing and it enhanced your spirituality and it brought you into a place of abundance. But you had already made room for the love partnership. So yes, little scraggly shit will come back from the past and stuff like that, but do not get it confused. This Page of Swords, when they wield this Ace of Swords, their clothing changes, their stature changes, their ways of communications evolve, and they begin to match you on a more fundamental level. Communication is only, with the words are only 7%. Your tonality is like 30 something percent. And your body language says the rest. So she's got her hand open. He's got both of his hands on this sword because he doesn't know if it's a trick or if something, if there's a catch or what this Page of Swords is used to. He doesn't typically evolve past the page point because he'll see something and cut it quick. He'll cut it off. He may be impulsive with that. But someone else knows this or is equipped to handle this type of behavior and has administered the correct medicine to help this person evolve without trying to change them, it's just giving them something that they have never had in this capacity. And with everything else, all the other types of communication that they have matching, this is the one thing that has to come up to par, come up to a certain level. She's on the other side of this celestial help here. He is about to transcend onto this path. And this is why they were paired. So people may see this person as childish and this, but she can see the intellect. She can see the sword of truth behind him with a crown on it. And the only person in the air suit that has a crown is the king. So if she's seen her match and he's just about to step into his crown for the fitting and the clothing, all these clouds have to clear, and he has to make he has to determine and make the decisive action, make the right decision for himself to accept healing, spirituality, and abundance. She's done that for herself. This person will have to do it for themselves as well. And once they choose in that direction, if they choose against that direction, they'll be walking into a truth. And it may turn the wheel or it may turn them around to still follow this trajectory. Because in the end, they're supposed to work together. And then that's when shit really pops off. What's under this? Hanged Man. And Knight of Pentacles. All these knights. So there's people coming. There's people coming. They're going to get stopped by death. Because this is what she's cultivating. Jeez. Okay. So I hope this helped for June. I have to come back with a mid-month or something to see how this energy plays out, because that was more than I expected to see. But this Page of Swords will get the guidance. If they don't hear it in the whisper, they'll hear it in the shout. Because this is another form of communication. Reading, writing, which it was written. Something was written, or they'll come across something that was written. It could be a post. It could be something else. A text message that someone sends them that will make this truth that they received stand out. And it will be undeniable. You'll probably see it on Facebook. But who knows? So, yeah, take care. Enjoy this energy here. Please enjoy this energy. Carefully enjoy this energy. Because it's spicy. Like a fucking meatball. All right. So I'll talk to y'all later.